everybody. Today is Sunday, February 28th, and I want to talk to you about yesterday's Anderson Silva versus Michael Bisping fight. I really liked this fight. It had so much action in it. Round one went really good for Michael Bisping. Well, first, before I start talking to you about the rounds, I want to say that Anderson Silva is an amazing fighter. He's a great fighter, and I just think he doesn't pull the trigger as much as I think he should. He doesn't stay very on edge, and that really goes against him in all of his fights. You see that a lot in when he's against the cage and he's just acting like, oh, well, you can't hurt me because I'm Anderson Silva, right? No, that's not the case. He did it with Chris Weidman. He did it with Stephan Bonnar. That fight, it actually went well for him. He's done it with Vitor Belfort. I believe it started a long time ago, this cockiness, and it's got to stop. If he wants to be and contain the title of greatest in the world, you're going to want to keep that serious. Anyways, round one I want to talk to you about. Round one was very exciting. Michael Bisping looked the best he's ever looked. Round one and two were Michael Bisping's round. Round one was a filling out process, but it was a pushing pace process, and I really enjoyed it. Round one was easily one of my favorite rounds in this fight. Round two, I'd have to say this is the most exciting round of the whole fight. This was the round where Michael Bisping actually knocked Anderson Silva down with strikes. And this was actually a part where Anderson Silva was actually acting serious in the fight. It was this very surprising part, but I still think that Anderson Silva wasn't respecting Michael Bisping's ability of strikes of being a striker, and Michael Bisping put a stamp on that and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm here to fight. I'm here to knock you out, Anderson Silva. You better put your hands up and start fighting me back, or I'm gonna knock you out." So let's talk about round three. Round three, round three was a good round for Michael Bisping, but round three, he got caught. It was very weird. I actually thought the fight was stopped by Herb Dean because Michael Bisping lost his mouthpiece, and Herb Dean picked it up. And as the exchanges were going on, the clinch, Anderson Silva it seemed like he had Bisping hurt. Okay, but then they kind of pressed away from each other. Michael Bisping had his back against the cage, and he looked at Herb Dean and he said, "Hey, I want my mouthpiece back." And right when that happens, Anderson Silva does a freaking flying knee out of nowhere and hits Michael Bisping in the jaw. The guy falls to the ground. He crumples. That was at the 1 second mark, too. If it had like 5 seconds less, Anderson Silva probably would have won. Scratch that. Anderson Silva would have not known because right when he hit the flying knee, he turned away and was like, "Yes, I won." No, you didn't. You didn't even try finishing the fight. You hit him with the knee and you walked away. Maybe because the round was over and stuff, and he thought, "Oh, well, I won." Not the case. Anyways, weird. I thought the fight stopped, but it didn't. I don't know. It was weird. Michael Bisping should have had his hands up to begin with and not looked away during a fight. But, I can kind of understand that he wants to keep all his teeth. So, and rounds 4 and 5, I'm gonna talk to you about both rounds. This one go. Round 4 was an Anderson Silva round. He knew that he had to pick up the pace. But, I think actually Michael Bisping took round 4 because, I don't know, he just kept on pushing the pace. He kept on pushing the pace, popping the jab, popping the 1-2-1. Michael Bisping knew he came into this fight, his life on the line. I mean, he gave it his all. A lot of props go to Michael Bisping after getting hurt like that in the third round. And Anderson Silva picked it up at the end of round number 4, and man, he caught him with those knees and the Superman punch. And Michael Bisping, man, just a lot of props to that guy. Round 5, a more Anderson Silva pushing the pace. I think round 5 went to Anderson Silva for sure. And ultimately, the decision went a unanimous decision to Michael Bisping. A lot of props to that guy. I'm really happy he got the decision. Uh, he very much deserved the fight to win the fight. And man, this was such a good fight. If I had to rank this fight, a final verdict, I would rank this fight a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It was a very, very exciting fight. I'm super happy that they actually made this fight. And if they ever do a rematch, I would be up to watching again because this was a very entertaining fight. Not the greatest fight of all time, but for Michael Bisping and Anderson Silva, I think it lived up to the hype, in my opinion. So, and being said, I'm basically Brandon, and that's basically it.